What's happening, everybody? We're here in Studio 11 checking some chit out, and we're going to hit you today with a different topic. What makes a professional musician a professional musician? Roll the intro!
Checking chit out, checking chit out. We're checking chit out, we're checking chit out. We're checking chit out, we're checking chit, 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 chit. Todos los días, revisamos días.
Bam. So, let's get into this because I think we're going to have some pretty good insights into this. Paul has been a studio owner for 30 plus years. He's dealt with plenty of professional musicians. I've been in the professional gigging circuit for 10 plus years now. So I think we can chime into this topic. We can steer the pot up a little bit.
Yeah.
And obviously, we want to know what you think in the comments too. And we have our wonderful team in the control room too that is going to contribute. You can hear him back there. We got Brett and Jesse. So,
They'll have something to say.
Paul,
Yeah.
what makes a professional musician a professional musician?
Well, I mean, the first thing is that they can play their instrument well enough that you want to hear it, and it's badass.
So
So that's the start.
and that should be a given.
Can you crush can you crush the music part? If you can crush the music part and play well with others, no pun intended, then the next thing I would say that would make a professional musician is their ability to adapt to play pretty much anything, any kind of genre, anything that needs to be played. I'm thinking of session people, of course, right?
Yeah.
That's my perspectives, and most of them are touring musicians, of course.
Yeah.
So, yeah, be able to play anything, be great at it, be easy to work with, and and some people would say, well, if you're not full-time musician, or maybe if you're not a heavy touring musician, then you're not a professional musician. I would disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think heavy touring necessarily makes you a pro, but it does help. Right, getting people's chops up for stuff, but not everybody who's a great touring musician is a great session musician. So
Yeah.
could be two different animals there, but they're often the same people.
So I'm going to push on you there. Like, let's hypothetically, because anyone can play an instrument. Like, you have excellent hobbyists. You have people on Instagram that don't do this for a living that have incredible chops. You have kids that are absolutely incredible with their instruments. Anyone can play an instrument. So taking that out as a factor, what makes someone a professional? Because obviously professional in the sense of the word is like you make money doing this,
yeah,
right?
often that means this is how you make your living.
Yeah.
Full-time. You're a full-time music player or musician. Whether you're touring or studio work or whatever it is, but you get paid for that for a living, and that's what some people would say. You're a professional musician because you, good, bad, ugly, whatever you sound like, if you make your living getting paid by playing music or by recording music, then that would, by definition, right, that makes you a professional musician.
Yeah. And to get paid, you got to know a little bit of the business.
And you got to be usually pretty damn good.
Yeah. And you got to understand sometimes a little bit like the back end and certain etiquettes. And because like studio life is totally different from the live life.
Sure.
There might be, some may argue, that there's more high pressure in live environments unless you're on a budget in the studio, because if you know your parts, there's no pressure in the studio.
Well, there could be quite a lot of pressure in the studio.
Yeah.
Even if you know your parts. I mean, if you're not accustomed to that role, you're a live touring guy, it's all you do, and you get in the studio, you got to adjust. It's a different animal. And then playing for a client, right? Meaning you're playing what they want, not necessarily what you want. Usually the good session guys, you just say play whatever you want, and it's always fucking amazing. It's like, okay, yeah, and you don't have to say, can you try it like this or that? Because they nail it. Like most of the great guys that we've worked with, they show up 3 takes if you want them to do 3 takes because they killed the first one.
Yeah.
And then you get 2 more just for shits because they'll be done in 15 minutes or 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah, and that's the difference too, because those cats, they'll have extreme amount of chops.
Yep.
But what makes them a professional is that they know what's going to serve the song.
Yeah.
And they know what tones to get too.
Yeah.
Because I know drummers out there with incredible chops, but they don't know how to tune their drums.
Sure. Yeah, no, they're these cats, the studio cats they're self-contained.
Yeah.
You know, if you hire, for me anyway, if I'm hiring a studio drummer or a guitar player or whatever it is, a lot of times they'll use our stuff because we get some nice stuff. But a lot of times it's like they have their rig and they show up and they'll, you know, what kind of session is it? And that'll dictate maybe the kind of rig they bring.
Yeah.
And, but they're basically ready to go in 5 minutes. You know, you plug them in, you throw a mic out there, and as soon as you get them in the headphones, they're ready to go. And usually within 10 minutes to 30 minutes, you're done.
Yeah.
But it's all, the sound is all coming from them.
So I think that brings up a good point, that it's not only being a professional musician, it's not only about knowing that, having the technical skill to perform with your instrument, but also having the technical knowledge about how to get the best sound out of your instrument.
Yes, or your amp, your whatever your rig is, your pedal board, whatever, if you're a guitar player. But yeah, absolutely. It's whoever you hire usually sounds great right out of the box.
Yeah.
Is the point there. It's like, you know, whether it's a bass or whether it's, you know, a horn section or whatever, they already, you know, you're not going to have to try and make them sound good.
Yeah.
They should already be killing the parts.
And to musicians that are listening or watching this, like as an example, like if you're a bass player, know the difference between flat wound and round wound strings, or the P bass and a J bass, or a Music Man Stingray, and knowing how those tools sound to fit the track. Or a drummer, like, you know, someone like Kenny Aronoff, you know, that dude like has every snare on the planet to get the exact snare sound that you need for whatever record. You know,
Right.
You're not going to use a Vinnie Paul snare on a R&B record. I mean, if you have to, you'll use it. But if you can use maybe some like vintage Superphonic, tune it nice and fat, you know, like that'll fit the record better. And that's what professional session musicians know how to do.
Yep.
You know? And
absolutely.
In the live environment, it's kind of like the same way too. It's like
it is.
There is
if you sound great, the sound guy's job just got a lot easier.
Yeah.
All he's got to do is make you loud enough.
And knowing the tools, right? Like, you know, we might be tube amp guys or whatever, but it's like if you're doing a tour in Asia or over Europe, coming from the States, and it's not in the budget to ship like your 8 4x10s and your 16 Marshall heads and all this stuff. It's like, dude, learn how to get good tone with a little modeler so you can put it in a little suitcase and you travel light and
you just go direct into the PA and that's
you're an asset to that band.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I want to get the thoughts in our control room over there. Like because we have Jesse and we have Britt there. Like, you've been to plenty of concerts. So like for you guys from an audience perspective and stuff like that, what's something that makes difference between amateur musicians and professionals to you guys?
Wow. Yeah. What a big question, right? I think obviously sound quality makes a difference, but it's a whole performance. When it comes to live music, you need everything to kind of be in check. So from even the way that you're dressing, from the way that you're acting out your music, this is for the people. This isn't just like recording in the studio, but you have to actually like bring an energy onto the stage and make it all encompassing. It has to kind of take people out of their normal reality and put them in a place of like really enjoying the music and being there present with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That makes a big difference. And you can tell when you go to like a, you know, like a little show and you got dad rock, which is cool. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's just not the same as like going to another band and it's like, oh, we're gonna be we're a cover tribute band for Poison. Look the part. Yeah. Like, let me go there and like live another reality. Like, you gotta sound it.
You gotta sound the part too.
Yeah. Right.
You gotta like
It's about the sound.
It is all about the sound and the look and the performance.
Yeah, and that's something she nailed it there is like engagement with the crowd.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, like that's the only leverage we have as musicians. It's like, do we have an audience?
Yeah.
Do we have an audience?
And
It's like,
and will they pay to see you?
yeah, absolutely.
And I'll add another thing, live bands get very lazy. They get super lazy thinking if I know this part and I can play this,
Right.
you know, whatever, then the people will come. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's just not.
And that's a great point because that is my
Yeah.
whole thing that I found like because obviously the sooner you lose the ego in both scenarios, like ego and a great recording just does not work. And in
Right.
the live situation is the same way. It's like
Yeah.
you are there, you're creating a product, that's true, but you're also providing a service.
Right. Well, here's another live performer metric that I've seen a lot. Bands that are amazing, they're great performers, and you see them at an arena or you see them in a theater or in a festival setting or whatever, and they're like, wow, these guys are amazing, they killed it. And then you see them in a smaller club setting where there's only 30 people and they still kill it.
Yeah.
What I hate is like when, like you were saying, bands could get lazy, like, okay, well, this is in a festival crowd. There's not 20,000 people or whatever it is. So it's only, nobody showed up, the weather was bad,
Ego.
somebody got in a wreck, whatever. But now we've got this tiny crowd. If they can't deliver the same way to that small crowd, then I would say not professional.
Yeah.
Right? That's not a pro move, and really what a wasted opportunity to, you know, get better at what you do.
Yeah.
Even if it's just your girlfriends in the audience and you know, your parents or whatever, you still kill it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can I add another point?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Know your business.
Yeah.
You're a professional, you need to know your money. You
Yeah.
need to know like what you're doing. You need to have an understanding of those things, and you need to be able to invest in what you're doing so that you can bring more into that live performance and into your recorded performances.
Absolutely.
Sure. No, yeah. I mean, for me, I don't piece recordings together.
Yeah.
I prefer live performances. You know, as much of it live as humanly possible. And if we're doing an overdub take or something like that, rather than just piece it together, I prefer we start at the beginning of the song, we go to the end of the song. Like you're performing this song again.
Amen.
And hopefully, maybe you even perform it better than the last time. If you didn't, we still have the last one. It's not the days of tape where we just erased over your shit. We still have the other one.
Yeah.
And then you get, I like to take, you know, at least 2 or maybe 3, depends on whoever it is, performances from start to finish. And then just take the best sections.
Yeah.
And it's usually not like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then back to this. It's usually like 2 or 3 edits or something. It's not like, you know, having to piece together a average performance.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? That's tedious.
Or having to tune an entire vocal performance and time align
Yeah,
everything
dude.
and just whoop.
I know you won't believe it, but I swear I still don't use auto-tune.
Yeah.
Paul, do you think people perform, as a musician, do you think they perform better live versus in the studio? Because I feel like sometimes in the studio, when it's all on you, it's actually way more nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it goes both ways, for sure. Sometimes people feel better in the studio, other times live, but the idea is to get the energy of the live performance in the studio, which is why having the whole band there all at once.
It's really nice.
I pretty much insist that we cut a scratch vocal whenever we're doing any kind of live band thing, and if I can get the singer isolated to some extent, then the vocal is good. Sometimes the scratch vocal ends up being like, oh, we can't beat this one. We've been overdubbing it for a day, and it's like, it's a little bit of bleed in it. It's not perfect, but it's the one that we all agree is the one. And so, you know, I think that it's that's the goal, to get the best live performance in the studio as you can, capture the best quality you can.
Which brings up a really interesting point, because nowadays with AI and all this other stuff, you can make perfect songs right out the gate. You can just type it in and it spits out a perfect song, right? But not to get super spiritual here, but nowadays, like our job as recording engineers and all this stuff too, it's like we're not, or producers, we're not only capturing a melody, a chord pattern, a drum beat, or we're creating something, we're also capturing the energy of a performance.
Right.
And like that stuff is, I hope AI never gets to a point that they can do it, but it's like, again, it's like when you hear one of these session players, it's thousands of hours of experience that you're getting in that recording, and you're capturing a fragment in time there.
Yeah.
And that AI is, they can't capture a fragment in time. They create stuff out of fragments in our past.
Yeah, and a group of performers, even better, because all their energies interact, you know, while they're doing it, and that shifts everything. That changes the whole vibe.
Yeah.
And sometimes for the worse, but mostly for the better if it's a bunch of people who are really playing well together. And yeah, I don't see AI taking over that anytime soon.
No, and I think it something else comes out of it too, is like AI really won't be able to necessarily inspire us, because like inspiration comes from human interaction, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone getting combined, creating these cultural moments, call it music, call it food, call it conversations.
Sure. But it's when you witness a human doing something that you think is amazing, spectacular, like, wow, look at that human go, because we're humans.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to be probably real bowled over by the robot who shredded a solo that didn't miss a note.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the robot cooking your food doesn't sound appealing.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So there's that human, part of it's the interaction, but part of it is that as humans, we each create from a unique consciousness.
Absolutely.
And AI is kind of like a collective, right? It's like it's all, even though there's different AIs, you know, they're all talking.
Yeah.
They're all talking behind our back.
But I would argue that they're talking behind our backs about our past. They can't keep up in real time with what humans are doing.
Right.
They can predict future, but we can predict the future as well.
Yeah,
and most
I
of
heard
the
they
time
have
we're
their own.
freaking
I heard
wrong.
they have their own religion now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm in.
But that's what AI is. It is only a research of our past, but we're human beings and we dictate our future. We have to be very cautious with not allowing our past, this collectiveness of like data, to be the ones that tell us what our future is.
Yeah.
That's where creativity and art and ingenuity comes in, is just being human and messing up, because wabi-sabi, baby.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's fucking like mess things up and find out what happens. Like, that's the best part of being human.
That's how it works. Yeah. Yeah. The AI is probably not nearly as messy, but what if it does be able to predict the future and project its consciousness, if you will, into the world like humans do?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we make things. That's how we build like a piece of equipment like this. It's, somebody projected their idea, their consciousness out into this thing, this physical thing that we
Well, Paul, it's only because we're predictable as people.
Right.
So if we're unpredictable and we do some crazy shit, who knows what algorithm we mess up?
Oh.
We do some crazy chit.
This
crazy
is
chit.
Crazy chit.
Now you're talking shit.
Now we're talking shit. If there's like some optimism to put at the end of this conversation, I think too, if we start seeing AI more, instead of, yes, it's a tool right now, and people are calling it a tool to use, but if, you know, we don't call our friends tools. We don't call our
Sometimes we do.
Some people do.
Some people are tools.
Some people are tools, yes. And some people move through this life using people as tools instead of using people. I don't want to use the word using people, but just investing in relationships, right? So if AI, at some point, if there's any hope for a future with AI, is to be like symbiotic with it, to amplify our humanity. You know, what makes us human, and then like just live this like, because it was like the same thing with like, you think of an excavator, right? Like we got an excavator, and an excavator replaced like 35 dude jobs, you know, digging up a pit with a shovel.
Sure.
And it's like, we're not going to go back to hiring 35 people to just dig up a hole when we can do it with an excavator.
Right, now you just get the robot excavator.
Yeah.
You don't even need the dude.
Exactly. You don't even need an operator. But if we can use AI to just advance us all as a whole, instead of just like people advancing themselves and taking advantage of other people as tools.
Yeah, and I with all the technology and the AI that's proliferating everything, ironically, I'm seeing more people play instruments. I'm seeing more young bands that are like with full horn sections. I'm seeing actual, I was shocked a couple of times when we were experimenting on our early YouTube, where we just had a bunch of interns out there jamming. And then I was like, wow, these guys are actually pretty good. And then I figured, well, they're all Berkeley graduates, so they should be somewhat good.
Yeah.
But it's hopeful to see young people really caring about playing an instrument. And I almost see, like, my daughter's 14, she just wants vinyl. She's not interested in AI generated anything.
Yeah.
She listens to stuff, listens to some modern shit like Taylor Swift and stuff like that, but she listens to old stuff from the 60s and the 70s as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing, I don't know if you'd call it a pushback, but younger people who are like, yeah, we kind of like had enough of the technology already.
Yeah.
And can we see something old school? How did they used to do it back in the old days?
Yeah.
And if you look at some of the trends in music now, they've gone back 50 years in some cases. You're hearing stuff that sounds like it's from the 70s or stuff from the 80s. And I think that's because it's real.
Yeah.
Or more real. The older it gets, the more real it becomes, right?
Yeah.
As you start getting even into the 80s and the advent of MIDI and all that, that's when it really took a turn. I was like, MIDI? No. No, not a drum machine and a MIDI horns. But that's what happened. And there was a phase where I think music got shitty. It got cheaty, man.
Yeah.
And then they kind of got, then I think the pushback was like the whole grunge scene.
Yeah, the 90s.
And the 90s, and then trying to bring rock back and, bands again. But, and now we have this insane proliferation of technology.
Yeah.
Auto-tune and a million other things that exist in the, DAW world.
Drum detective, sample replacement.
All that.
All
anything,
that stuff. Like
anything.
You can take a turd and make it sound cool. If
Probably.
you're like a wizard behind the mouse and keyboard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's, I think that's to the detriment of good music. But we don't have to use the tool that way.
Yeah. And even to your point, what you were saying with your daughter, like with vinyl nowadays in today's landscape, I would say that it's probably the worst in terms of quality, the worst sounding medium to play music on.
Yeah.
But there's a ritual with it. There's a spiritual thing when you have to like physically get up, put the needle
and flip it over for side two.
Flip it over, yeah. It becomes more intentional to listen to music.
And if you're like a super geek and you have like a really nice stereo, I have kind of a crappy one, but I got the speakers in the right place so I could really hear the stereo image if I sit in the right spot. And when I've done it, I've compared like CDs to the same thing on vinyl, same, albums. And, the vinyl had its deficiencies, of course, or whatever, because of the frequency response, can't get the same low end and some other things. But the stereo image was way better than the CD, way better.
Absolutely.
And so I would argue that the stereo imaging in vinyl, if you have a decent system, doesn't have to be amazing, still outdo, the digital world, and certainly outdo something like an MP3, where all those things have gone completely to shit. So don't get me started on the MP3, which should be outlawed.
Yeah,
that's another one. Outlaw MP3s, everybody.
That's another video, lossless versus lossy audio.
Oh,
you know,
man.
like, what are you guys doing? Come on. You got good, everyone has good gear. AirPods are fantastic. They sound great for a consumer product. Why are you listening to MP3s?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine.
Crazy. Anyways, we're going to leave you with these thoughts. Let us know in the comments. What are your thoughts on what makes a musician a professional? And looking forward to the next video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah, man.
Roll that outro.
Checking shit out. We're checking shit out.
All right.
Checking shit out. We're checking.
Oh, don't get me on.
Golden view.
If you start me on AI with you guys, I'll go.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
So you guys aren't on camera, right?
Yeah.